Well, this is a four-part question to do with simple interest and compound interest. The first part is simply what is a $4,000 is deposited for 3 months at 3.6% per annum simple interest. Okay, so that's flat, 3.6%, but it's only 1/4 of a year. So let's try to get our I don't think I've got much space here. There we go. Trying to make the space. Let's do that. How much space will it give me? I can go up and down. That's good. I've got a bit of space above and a bit of space below. So I'll start above and then I'll work below. So let's do the blue one first and work out, okay, simple interest equals principal times rate times time. So simple interest equals 4,000 times the rate, which is 3.6%, 0.36. That's the percent. And the time, it's not 1 year, it's 1/4 of a year. So I'll put 0.25, 1/4 of a year. And get the calculator. And I'll do this off screen, just to save fiddling with the calculator on the screen. 4,000 times 0.036. You can do this calculation and check 0.25. And I get $36. $36 is the interest, right? Not the amount. That means there'll be $4,036 in the account. All right, but it didn't specify. So we'll put an amount would be $4,036. The interest would be $36. Okay, so that's part A. Let's go to part B. Part B is black. Change it. If the amount is then reinvested for another 3 months at 3.6%. All right, well, this is the same, except we're going to take 4,036. So the simple interest will be P times R times T. Now we've got 4,036. The rate is still 3.6%. And it's another 3 months, which is 1/4 of a year, 0.25. All right, I'll put that in the calculator. 4,036. Okay, 4,036 times 0.036 times 0.25. Now I get, it's $36 at 32. Almost, it's 324, but we'll just say 32. Okay, part C, that's part B. Part C, red. Let's change it to red. $4,000 is invested at 3.6% compounded quarterly. How much after 6 months? All right, well, seriously, there's no calculations required here because we've just done that. We got it, we did 4,000, we invested it for 1/4 of a year, we came up with that amount. We took that amount, we invested it for 1/4 of a year, and we came up with an extra $36.32. So the answer, how much would you have after 6 months? You started with 4,000. It then became 4,036. And it then became, add another $36.32. So it became 4,000 and, is that $72.32? So really, that's how much you end up with after 6 months. Now, look, if you wanted to use a formula, there is a compound interest formula that you probably have learned. A equals your principal, 1 plus whatever your rate is. And sometimes you might learn this formula divided by n, the number of times that you compound it per year. And T times N. T is the number of years times the number of times that you compound it. You might learn that formula. Let's show you what that means here. You start with 4,000. It's 1 plus, it's 3.6%. And I'll put 0.036 here because I don't have 100 underneath. And we divide that by quarterly. So we break that up into 4 pieces. And it's only a quarter of a year, which is a quarter times 4. It's only for one session, 2 sessions, a half a year divided by quarter. That's twice. So this is the number of quarters that we're going to be compounding. So it'll compound twice in 6 months. So I'll show that calculator. 4,000 times open bracket 1 plus a fraction, because I've got this fancy calculator, I'm going to use this Casio ClassPad, this fraction key, 0.036 on the numerator and 4 on the denominator. Okay, go to the end, close the bracket, raise that to the power of 2, hit execute, find the decimal component, and it says $4,072.324. You can do that yourself, and that rounds off to 32. Part C, which is green. What is the amount of interest? Be careful here. They want the amount of interest, not the amount at the end. Careful. What's the amount of interest? Always watch what they ask for. That could catch you out. What is the amount of interest? If instead 4,000 is invested compounded monthly, well, that's going to change our N to 12. And we're going to invest it. Oh, it doesn't say a period of time. Invested at 3. Let's put for 1 year. It doesn't say for 1 year. Let's do that. If it's invested for 1 year. Okay. We should have had that in the start. D. Here we go. Good. Got a bit more window here. A is P, 1 plus your rate over 12, because we're going to do it for 12 times. And 1 year times 12 is TN. So it is $4,000. 1 plus the rate of 0.036. Going to make that 12. Compounding 12 times in a year, and in 1 year it will happen 12 times. That's 1 times 12. I'm going to put that in the calculator. 4,000 times open bracket 1 plus fraction key on top is 0.036. Underneath we're going to make that break it up into 12 pieces, and we raise that to the power of 12 times. It's going to compound in a year, and got the big fraction here. Let's get the decimal. That is $4,146, and that's close enough to 40 cents. It's 3,999,921. Okay, close enough to 40. We want the amount of interest. Therefore, the interest, if we start with 4,000 and we finish with 4,146, it's just that take away 4,000, so it's just the $146.40 part. So you've got to subtract your original principal from that amount. Yeah, so we started with 4,000, we got an extra $146.40 interest, and then we finished up with 4,146, but we have to answer the amount of interest. Okay, hope this has helped. Cheers.